What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I have a special one here for you today because I was asked by somebody Chris used to work with about doing meal prep, because I meal prep like rapid fire. I've gotten it down to a science, and I'm going to show you guys what I do. It totally starts with the idea of being the most efficient. So if you have something that you can do, I always make sweet potatoes. So I currently have sweet potatoes in the oven and they're literally almost done. What I do is if I have a client or have the house to clean or something, I prep them, throw them in the oven. I don't think about it because those take the longest to cook. So I always get that out of the way first. What I like to do is season my steak first because it's got to get up to room temperature before I start cooking it. So I just kind of slop some steak seasoning on, nothing crazy. And then I throw the salt on. Yes, guys, I cook with salt. Gone are the times where they say salt is bad for you. It's good for you. So garlic, salt. And then that is it. I let it sit until it's room temperature. It's been out for a little bit, but what's gonna be one of the last things that I cook. My ground turkey goes on next, and literally gonna throw this right on the stove and just brown it. I have 4 pounds. So what I like to do, obviously, is get the easiest things going first. I also already have water on for, I have to wash my hands, but I have water boiling already, or almost boiling, for protein pasta. So I have a lot of different meals I'm gonna make in one shot, and the most important thing for me is time. So being efficient is everything. So I try and get everything cooking at the exact same time, and then I worry about piecing it apart in the containers later on. All right, next thing we got is chicken, but I'm gonna wash my hands first. So I have found there are a lot of different ways you can make chicken. My way is not the end all be all, but it's going to be fast. I literally cut the chicken in half so it's a little bit thinner. The thinner you cut the chicken, the quicker it's gonna cook, guys. So we move as quickly as we can, and then I cut it into cubes. So I cut it thin and then I cube it. What this is gonna do is set me up to put it in the oven once the potatoes come out, and my oven is already hot, which is amazing. So like I keep saying, efficiency is everything when it comes to meal prep, and we don't have all day, right? We're busy moms, we work 40 plus hours a week. We got stuff to do, and meal prep needs to make our lives more efficient. So you shouldn't have to be here all day cooking. Just be careful you don't cut your fingers. And it doesn't have to be perfect. They don't have to be the perfect sizes. We're just getting it done. Sometimes it's about getting it done. Remember, guys, we keep moving. So I have 2 boxes of, it's called Pastabilities. This is not a sponsored video. A friend of mine told me about this pasta, and sometimes it gets boring eating the same food over and over again. So I added a meal to my diet, and Chris eats the same foods that I do that allow me to eat protein pasta. And this is 24 grams of protein per serving, also 24 grams of carbs. So it is a great protein substitution if you need something a little different. I don't normally program it as like, you know, an end all be all, but it is a nice bonus to eating chicken and turkey all the time. So I'm gonna dump this into the already boiling water. It's only 16 ounces. I don't make a ton of these meals, but I do make some. And then I already have my chicken ready to go. So all I do is I just find a dry seasoning that I like. Today, right now I'm using this garlic parmesan and mixing it in, and then I literally just keep on going with it. I like dry seasonings. I do not ever recommend anything saucy or liquidy. There's usually a lot of filler, a lot of sugar, a lot of stuff in it. So I just wait until the chicken's all coated, and then the sweet potatoes are done. I'm gonna pull those out, and then we are ready to throw this in. The sweet potatoes are done, so I'm just gonna pull these out, and I keep preaching efficiency. So what I do here, because cleaning can be time consuming, so what I'm gonna do is move my sweet potatoes from here into the bowl because they have to cool anyway. And then the chicken is gonna use the same pan, which is already hot and ready to go. So that is another way that I try and keep things efficient. Now, I wouldn't do it the other way. I wouldn't do chicken and then do the sweet potatoes. But because I did sweet potatoes first, that's why this works. So you have to work smart. Work smarter, not harder. Pouring chicken into the pan. So then that will be all ready to go. And then I'm gonna throw this back in the oven, which again, already hot, guys. I'm not waiting at all. The pan is still hot from the sweet potatoes, so I'm gonna try not to burn myself. I get this spread out so it's nice and flat, and then it goes right in the oven. I will sprinkle a little bit of olive oil on top just to keep it more moist. And then I also throw a piece of silver foil to kind of keep the moisture locked in. I've found that it keeps the chicken more moist and it doesn't dry it out as much. So just real quick over top. I don't even lock it in, I just let it sit on top. That's it, very simple. And then we're just going right back into the oven with it. This will be like the last thing that takes the longest to cook. Everything else is gonna be smooth sailing from here on out. Because now I can throw the steak on, and I've already started heating up the stove. The pan's already hot. Now, if you enjoy steak, I'm gonna tell you, if you cook the steak to your desired temperature right off the bat, knowing this is meal prep and that you have to undercook the steak now in order for it to be at the temperature that you want to eat it at. If you overcook it now, you're gonna be in big trouble later. So, steak is going on. I'm gonna have to leave the last one. I don't think I'm gonna fit that one. Or maybe, let's see. It's tight, we're gonna do it because we're being efficient, guys. So what I do here is I throw the lid on and I let it cook. I watch it, and we like our steaks medium to medium rare. So this is gonna be like definitely medium rare when it comes out. This way then when we put it in the microwave to cook it later on, like a couple days from now, it'll be good, it'll be juicy, and it won't be overcooked. All right, I just dumped the meat, so I'm gonna put it back in the pot because I only have one of these, and I need it for the pasta, which is also done simultaneously. So I'm just gonna rinse this real quick, and then I can go season the meat after I start draining the pasta. So pasta abilities can be drained. We're moving right along. And the steak is actually almost done as well. Actually, it might be done. We're gonna season the turkey now. It's called, shout out to Brandy and Jose. They told me about this Flavor Bomb. It is Flavor Bomb Burger. And it is amazing. Again, not sponsored. It is just something that my daughter loves it, and she can be a little picky. So I just throw a ton of this on here. She had it at their house one day, and she was like, however Brandy made it, it was so good, turkey and rice. And I was like, well, I gotta find out what it is. So I've been using it ever since. It's been, I don't know, it's gotta be like 4 months now. But Chris and Kylie both will eat this, not complain, and eat this around the clock. The turkey and rice is their favorite meal. So that makes me very happy. So I just continue to break up the turkey. I don't even have the stove on at this point. I'm just letting it cool and seasoning it. Could use a little more. I just kind of look to see that the turkey kind of takes on a little bit of the color of the seasoning. There's no like rhyme or reason to how much. I just want it to have a little bit of flavor, that's all. What I didn't tell you before is that yesterday I had to cook because we ran out of meal prep, and I made an entire bag of rice while I was making dinner, knowing that I was going to meal prep today. So I work like that a lot. I try and be as efficient as possible knowing I'm going into meal prep. If I had time to make the sweet potatoes yesterday, I probably would have done that too, but I didn't. So I do have a bag of rice all ready to go. So now I can literally start portioning out the turkey and the rice meal. So I'm already way ahead of myself. And the steak actually looks like it might be done. It definitely looks like it's got some medium rare qualities, which means when we put it in the oven, I'm gonna cut this for you guys so you can see it. But when we put it in the microwave in a couple of days, I want it to be like medium. So I wanna enjoy my food, guys, really important. So let me get this out and I'll show you what it looks like. So I think the big question that a lot of people have is, well, Kristen, how do I know how much to put in the containers? And that is the question that I think everybody is going to wonder what the answer is. And it's going to be different for everybody, but good news is I'm taking on new clients, and that is what I do for a living. I help iron out what your macros are so you know exactly what to put in the containers. You know exactly what to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and everything in between. You know what you should eat before a workout and post-workout. I iron all that out for you. So if you're interested in hiring a coach and really learning how to break all this down, my email is KristenGraham.KG@gmail.com, and I'm taking on new clients. So we sit down, we have a consult, face-to-face, you and me, one-on-one. We go over everything, all the ins and outs about you, your life, your day, your workouts, the works, and then I give you a breakdown of what you're supposed to be eating. So if you're interested, shoot me an email, and I will get you on my book, and we'll book a call. It's time to start putting the food into the containers, which means I have my scale out, which is literally everything. If you're not weighing and measuring your food, you might be overeating, you might be undereating. You can eyeball to a certain extent when you need to, but if you're really trying to lock it in and get your macros in exactly where they need to be, you want to start weighing and measuring your food. It makes a huge, huge difference. So I literally weigh out a bunch of my portions, and then I'll start grabbing some of the steak, and we will be rounding out our first set of meals. All right, so get rid of this for now, and then we're going to start adding some of the steak. And I know exactly what I need because I've done this a million times over. Good. And it goes really fast. Once you have all the food cooked, it does go very, very fast. And this is it. This is all I do for the rest of it. And I'm going to get into like the turkey and rice and start making those meals and start piecing it all together. As things become done, like off the stove, out of the oven, you just start piecing it all together. The only catch is you do have to let everything cool off before you put it in the fridge and cover it up. So I just start stacking these at one side of the island. The only other thing that I do that you won't see me do here is I buy a lot of those steam fresh bags of vegetables because I like certain vegetables. Chris likes different vegetables. Kylie likes different vegetables. So we add our vegetables in depending on who grabs the container. So that's the only thing you won't see me put in here, but we do eat vegetables. It's just not in our containers. Sorted out all the rice, so I am just on the turkey now. For me, it's 110 grams, which I like to be pretty precise with it. So literally, I'm going to put, all of these are going to be turkey, and then once the chicken comes out, I'll do some of these chicken, some will be turkey, and I'll finish off the steak, and I'll start sorting out the pasta will be the last thing that I sort out. So we are done. I literally just have to put the chicken in their containers with the rice, and you guys kind of get the idea of how this goes. I'm just breaking it up because I left it in there and it cooked. So I'm letting it soak up some of the juices. And right now I have 37 meals already prepped here. This is for me, Chris, and Kylie. She's eating meal prep now too. So we are all on this. So I am hoping that you guys love this. I hope this was informative. And again, if you have any need for a coach, want to know what your macros should be, how to break it down into your containers for you, use my email, KristenGraham.KG@gmail.com, and reach out and we will get on a call together. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.